Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here again. Got another Alliance War video to share. This one was from earlier in the season. This was war number 2 against the Alliance Legion, and it was a pretty good war. And let's get into it. This is the first node on my path 1, node 4. It's got the vigorous assault and arc overload. So when the regen buff is up, fully unblockable. And so what I tried to do there at the beginning was hit him while he didn't have any power. I'm gonna try to manage the reverb damage as much as possible. Now you won't take reverb damage when either he has a indestructible up, or he has the indestructibles from his L2. And I randomly threw an L2 into his block earlier. I thought maybe I was gonna get an intercept, and yeah, it didn't work out. And you can see, like, we're a minute in. I've already gotten hit. I've lost about half my health, and he's pretty much at full health. Now, the one nice thing with Claire is that she can turn off the arc overload entirely with buff immunity, and maybe that's what I was actually doing. Was I was trying to make sure that I had the buff immunity on to where he couldn't get the regen, and I did pay the price a little bit. But here I'm trying to wait out that the reverb, so you can just hit him with less power. I mean, if you can ideally hit him with no power when that reverb activates, you won't take any damage. But the higher power he is, the more reverb damage you'll take. And so I'm trying to kind of bait a bunch of that out. Yeah, we're just trying to get back in there and stay in the bleed stance, because he can bleed me. He can, but I can also regen. So even though I'm taking some reverb damage, I'm kind of gaining that back, and I'm trying to get some health back and take this guy down. It is going slow. I am fairly boosted. The regen is not super great because don't really have any prowess or anything going on for me on my specials, even though I have some. I think I have some of the mystic boosts on. And I'm never throwing an L3, and if I could throw an L3 and get back to an L2 in time, then maybe that would have been somewhat beneficial, but I don't have enough clairvoyant charges to do that. So I'm just kind of throwing that option out the window. And now we're 3 minutes in, and it's about 50-50. And so I mean, this is a long fight, and I keep messing up. I keep dexing late on those L2s of his, triggering the indestructible. Probably would be better if I had just been blocking that first hit and then backing out. That would have been more successful. You can kind of do those draft back intercepts with Killmonger. He does have kind of a shorter reach on his dash in attacks, kind of like Domino. And there, finally I get a nice L2 off. I get some heal back, and I had switched over to incinerate mode, which was significant as far as how much reverb damage. So like there, I'm taking 4 reverb damage because I hit him with like no power, which is awesome. And I think that we're gonna finish this off with an L2. I keep blocking, or keep dexing right at the end of that last hit, turn it off, and kill him. So it was a long fight. Not the most pretty fight. Lots of reverb damage, one combo towards the beginning, but we get Killmonger down. And now we have Sasquatch. This is node 13, has masochism, indomitable, and whenever I pretty much see a mystic, generally it's torch food. And I really like torch on the masochism node because just in his normal combo rotation, you disable the masochism on either your mediums or your first light, and so that just gives you more openings to get easy parry stuns in, which gets you easy combos going. And I do short combos, medium, light, medium, trying to block and parry as much as possible, just because I'm going to be building up smolders, and that helps do more damage on the incinerates. And this Sasquatch pretty as much melted. A few more hits and we'll be ready to go. Had to do a double parry on that because the masochism was still up, but barely any health lost on that fight, and Sasquatch goes down pretty easy, 43 hits. Now we have the strike counter fury node. This is node 20. We leave up the power focus 1 pretty much almost all the time. It makes it a lot easier to manage how much power they have, and this is generally a Thing fight. Thing is bleed immune, which is nice in case I do get clipped by an L1. It's not going to do massive damage. And my whole strategy here is, if you've watched any of my videos before, is just to redline it with Thing, and don't worry about the strike counter at all. The sooner you can actually start building up the opponent's furies, the sooner you can pretty much enable just that 100% uptime, pretty much the protection being there. And I take, one health point per parry block. I'm just the one thing on this fight, because when Blade gets more power, the stun time that is available, it gets shorter the more power he has. So I'm just kind of making sure that I keep an eye out on that I, if I happen to get him closer to like 2 bars, the stuns are going to be pretty quick being shrugged off, so I just got to be aware of that. But it's pretty easy. I'm pretty much doing like a parry, full hit combo, or 4-hit combo, dash back, parry, repeat, repeat, repeat. And then if he throws his L1, I'm just blocking him just because it triggers protection. Because with those, right now he has 45 furies. If I would actually, if any other champ would get hit by this dude right now, he'd be dead. Even blocked hits, it would just kill you. But with Thing, it's just triggering protection because it's hitting so hard. Protection is enabled pretty much on every single hit, which is just super, super cool. So he makes him super viable for this node. And yeah, the power focus 1, just make sure that you don't really have to ever deal with trying to bait L2s or potentially pushing them to L3 if the AI gets really stingy with the specials. And you can see, this is about a 100-hit fight, but it was super simple, super straightforward, very safe. Thing just does really, really, really good on this node. I recommend him taking this fight pretty much every time. There's a few champs that would give him problems on this node, but generally speaking, Thing is the answer. So I get some of my alliance mates to move up to get me to this Domino on Power Snack, node 22. It's got the backup recovery as well, and Outlast. And Domino, she's just a pain in the butt generally, especially like a high sig one, just because of the critical failure damage. Just even on my blocks, because I'm building up rock stacks, that has the ability to get crit failed and you just take damage. But Thing is just really good for this fight in general, just because again he is nullify immune, and part of the power snack is that that node is nullifying your buff to get that power gain, and basically that just can't happen. So I don't ever have to worry about that extra power gain. The only power gain that I need to worry about in this fight is the backup recovery. So I need to be really aware of where she's at when I'm about to hit her around 50% on her health bar, because I want to make sure that she has as little power as possible. If she's at 2 bars like this, it's going to shoot her up to L3, and then it's gonna hurt. So I just need to be very cautious of of that 50% benchmark and make sure that I push her over and bait her special before I hit her and push her over. So now we're at 58%, and you look, I haven't taken any hits yet, but this is a high sig domino, and I'm just taking tons and tons of crit fail damage, and which just really sucks. I'm trying to do a lot of blocking because I do want to build up my Furies. I got to build up the rock stacks, convert them to those Furies, and that's going to allow me to do this fight faster. Preferably, I would try to push her to an L2, just because you can get out of range without having to trigger decks. You don't have to block anything unless you're in the corner. There I do get clipped. And I don't know, I found some issues where if you do get clipped by Domino and you trigger that unstoppable, you just get some weird spacing and whatnot, to where it's like, I don't know, it just seems weird. It's like she didn't hit you, but she did. I mean, I know you get unstoppable, but yeah, anyways, we're getting close. 34% to her 15%. I am at max fury, so I'm going to trigger dex and try to do more dashing where possible to eliminate some of the damage that I could take from the crit fail. Hit her with the big L1, and is it enough? Not quite, and I hit her over, tapping her into the block. So a lot of damage taken there. I did take, what, one hit? 2 hits? But pretty much all of it was crit fail, which just kind of sucks. So now we're going into phase 2. This is node 30. This has an Immortal Hulk. This is when he like just came out. This guy probably either got lucky with calves or lucky with the 2020 crystals. And I'm going with Claire, and I didn't heal up. Now, I don't recommend this. I was feeling pretty confident, maybe a little bit too cocky, thinking I could just get into poison mode and build up a lot of charges because he's poison immune, hit him with a big L3, and then go back around and potentially get a big heal. And I think I end up healing quite a bit, and then I get hit, I think, and I almost die. Immortal Hulk, he's not a great defender, but you know, if you do get hit by this dude, he definitely can smash for sure. So yeah, I didn't get back to L2 with Death Touch up. I got a decent amount of heal there, nothing too crazy. I am trying to bait out this guy's L1 just because it's more safe. You don't have to dex the projectiles, even though it's pretty easy to dex his L2 as well. Just trying to go the safer route. Safer is better for me. Here we get another L2 off, and I think I end up getting clipped when I kill him the first time, when he goes immortal and he heals and he becomes fully unblockable. So I'm just trying to stay in the bleed stance because I want to keep healing Black Widow. And I'm not really too concerned with the vigor. It's nothing too concerning, just because I can turn it off with buff immunity. I do have some clairvoyant charges that I have that I can nullify it, and you know, it'll just make the fight a little bit longer, but that also means I can pretty much potentially heal more. And so here I'm gonna start hitting with some heavies. I do have max deep wounds, and here I think we kill him the first time. He goes fully unblockable until those charges run out, and then he's going to heal up quite a bit, up to 44%. But I'm just going to keep spamming some L2s, and then boom, right there I get hit. And luckily he only hit me twice, because I think if he would hit me one more time, I would have definitely been dead. And I'm just like, oh, there goes all of that heal. I'm trying to bait this guy's L1 out, and he is just not having it. There, finally we get it baited. Go back in. We're not doing any damage though because of the indestructible. And yeah, you can see that the vigor has turned off entirely, which is quite interesting. Pretty much I killed him, and I think it just disabled it permanently, because the buff immunity, it only disables it for a short time, and it will come back. It did come back a few times in here. So I have, here's the L2. You can counter those. I was just trying to be safe. I didn't want to go in and get like parried or anything like that. But here we go again. We're getting him down, and he's at 22 radiation charges. I think I'm gonna hit him with a heavy, bleed him, but he's immortal again, and so he's going to regen up back up to 20%. It's just like, oh man. So if you don't kill him fast enough, definitely could be an issue. But yeah, this fight is long. It was a lot longer than I anticipated, and just that one combo to the face really killed the healing that I was trying to do. One more heavy should kill him with the deep wounds, and he's dead. Immortal Hulk is down. Kind of sketchy, but got through it. And next up we got an Iron Man Infinity War, and for this fight it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, because with Thing, he ignores Buffet entirely because he is immune to Nullify, and Buffet is nullifying buffs. But if you noticed, I knew this guy actually did have suicides, and I totally forgot, and I just went into the fight. It's like, oh, I have plenty of health, but the Lionheart poison, ooh, I totally forgot about that, and I almost died. And not because I would have had plenty of health, but that Lionheart damage, man, it really wrecked most of my health. And so I'm going to try to make it out of this fight with a full attack bonus on this guy, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'm still trying to build up all my furies. I'm almost there at 52, and he's just what, 40% almost. And yeah, it gets close, because sometimes those double parries, the reparries, they're not sticking, or he'll bait a heavy and got extra block damage just trying to get those safe openings, and this is getting sketchy. I'm at 5%, he's at 20%. I just need him to throw specials though. I throw a special one before he gets into his 15% phase, so that doesn't get auto blocked or anything. He's got the armor ups, it's great. Now we're just gonna try to get some recoil going on and get a heavy off, get another armor up, perfect. And the suicides is going to kill him, and I come out of there with 3%. Whew, that was close. That was close, too close. Next up we got, this is a Buffet, the strike counter suppression. And I'm going to go in with Human Torch, with Flame On. And I'm just going to try to bait his heavies, do a lot of medium, light, mediums. Try to not do that. Try to not dex out and trigger indestructible, and just try to put a lot of incinerates on. And then if he throws a special, block it. If he doesn't have enough of his little rock stack thingies to where it's unblockable, and just try to burn this guy down. And you know, the Buffet is pretty bad. It's not terrible, not as bad as the other node, but yeah, I mean, Torch can easily do this fight. You don't have to worry about the Thorns damage, which is really nice. Yeah, and we're just gonna melt this dude. This is a rank 5. I think it was a SIG 200 Korg, and we're gonna rock this dude out. Lots and lots of medium light mediums, shorter combos. Trigger another buffet. We gotta get that indestructible off. We get it off. Gotta watch out for him purifying those incinerates. And yeah, but we get this guy down and get the solo full attack bonus. Fairly minimal health lost. A little bit of chip damage, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, I think overall the fight went pretty well. So we get the Korg down, full attack bonus, and for this war, we're gonna do a little something different. I'm typically going on the right side on the minis. This time I'm going on the left side. I'm just applying a health boost, not any attack boost, and I'm throwing an invulnerability boost for this fight and the next fight, and mainly no boost because it's the rage node. I don't want to hit hard, because if I hit hard, I trigger those furies, and if he gets 5 of them, then he will be unblockable. Professor X is not a stubborn defender, and you know, he does put the falter on, but with the high temperature, I still could have hit him. I did get hit right there, but because of Professor X's hits are energy, or most of them are energy, you can build up a lot of smolder really, really fast. So he's just a really, really good option for this fight in general. And yeah, you can just see like those smolders and those incinerates are just putting in a ton of work. Never once trigger the rage furies. Even in the assassin's range wasn't a problem. So he goes down. Invulnerability boost did help me save some health there, which was nice. And then we got the Tigra mini. This is the special one, enhanced special one, power focus one. And we're gonna go back in with Torch and just do a lot of parries, a lot of short combos. I'm gonna try to build up my temperature a little bit before I start going in with bigger combos, just to make sure I can get more damage with, you know, my hits later on in the fight. And then once she's at a special, there I tried to block it. Can't block unblockable special ones, at least the first part you can dex out. Totally missed that, but not that big a deal. The invulnerability boost helped. We get out of that L1 and she just melts. And then that's it. That's all for the war for this one. This one, they, the Legion, they actually beat us. This was the first loss of the season. And yeah, thanks for watching, fellas, and I'll see you in the next one.